If you look around, public rights are facing an extraordinary range of new threats around the world. And yet the officials that we have to rely on to respond to them seem more concerned with careerism and deal-making than they are with solving our problems. Brazilians are seeing a lot of this in the news recently, and it's getting to the point where you've got to ask, what can we do about it? And if things are going to get better, we need new champions. We need people whose first loyalty is the public. We need people who aren't going to start shivering the minute somebody stands up and starts making threats. People who we know won't sell out when they're facing a tough situation. People like David Miranda. Who's he? Back when I was working with journalists to reveal the largest system of unlawful mass surveillance in the history of the world, there was a very real possibility that we were all going to end up in prison. That's what happens when you go up against powerful people doing bad things, but you realize sometimes that's the only choice that you have. And in that situation, David Miranda is a man who stood up and volunteered to help those journalists who were working to tell the public the truth despite those risks. He didn't have to. He knew that he had nothing to gain from it. But he did because he's not a politician. He's a guy from the favelas, Jacuzina, who came up out of poverty. And in that kind of place, you learn very early on that there are more important things in life than money. There are other things that matter. There are things like people. There are things like rights. There are things like the kind of future that you want to believe in. Brazilians are facing a crisis of democracy. And the men in boots are an endless march of issues, from corruption and the economy to social services to internet freedom to the future. And if things are going to improve, if things are going to get better, someone is going to have to stand up. Someone who we know is not afraid of men in boots.